Oh, fuck. Should be the better one right there. That's not what you want to see. That's a pretty good deer. Second deadhead. What the fuck? What have they done? All right, everybody, welcome back. I don't know if you can tell, but we got a new look up in here. Yeah.
New setup.
Studio.
New setup. Couple
been
more
busy.
mounts.
Yep.
Couple more mounts to go up, but
Yep.
yeah.
What do you think we're talking about today? We got a lot of inches in front of us. Did a lot of walking, a lot of sore legs.
Yeah,
all them inches.
Mhm.
some of it in the snow, slick as hell.
Oh, dude, I busted my ass so many times.
Yeah,
I didn't find shit from this year.
Just slacking, dude.
No, we just
Scotty
got
found a few.
right to work.
Yeah.
Pushed everything off the property before they could drop them.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Anthony here called out that I would find. We talked about that unicorn deer a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never found his right side. And
Really?
yeah, never. I've always found that opposite side
Yeah.
without the unicorn.
Yep.
And I was by myself at that lease, and I didn't. To start off the shed season, I did not. I was very discouraged because as soon as I pulled up to that property, I saw logging trucks. No idea that was going to happen.
Yeah.
He never told me or anything. So as soon as I saw them logging trucks, I didn't even want to shed hunt that farm because all them loggers were pushing all those deer off that farm the whole December, January, February.
Yeah. But what do you think about I don't know, I think deer halfway used to all the trucks and tractors and running saws and stuff and hearing it all the time.
There's not a lot of woods on that farm. So there's a lot of long fingers. I don't know.
Been watching some stuff about guys that will go in with a leaf blower before blow their paths to their stands and it won't scare anything for the next couple days.
I don't know.
Crazy.
I was pretty much down in the dumps, but I got a picture of that deer on in December with him shedding that side already in December.
Oh.
So
bigger mature deer usually drop them a little bit earlier. Yeah.
I mean, my dad and we drove that farm quite a bit on the side by side. And we picked up a couple little dinks here and there, way off of the logging trail. And
is Star or S
farm.
Gotcha.
And I'm driving through this big hay pasture. I was coming off of a different field because I just got done spraying it for food plots this year. And I see something sticking out of the grass. I'm like, what is that? Because it didn't look right. It was let me pull it up. It looked like that. I'm like, that doesn't look like an antler. So I pulled it all the way out and I'm like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? Look at the unicorn on that. You know how long this unicorn point is?
18 inches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
18 exactly. Is this your first time seeing it?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I was up here earlier with my brother and I showed it to him and he was like, is that its other side?
Nope.
No.
It's crazy that it has two full bases.
I know.
It's not one coming off of this. It's stone antler.
So that put me back into the mood on that farm. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm gonna start walking.
I imagine you gotta measure those separately for.
Yes.
I don't know. It's it's its own separate antler. It's not a kicker at all.
Yeah, that's just an abnormal. So you'd measure this as an extra.
Gotcha.
But
18 inches is quite a
it'd be
That's a girthy.
it'd be really
bastard,
cool
too.
if your first mass measurement was all the way.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But yeah, this is the first time ever. He's been on the farm for 3 years.
How does that work if they're connected? Could you do that?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not sure.
We'll see what he has for next
Here's
year.
his other side.
What's that deer?
40. That's his other side. He's a weird looking deer, dude. He has no width. He's literally like this.
It's like, I mean, that one mount on your wall is very similar.
Sorry, we got tornado warnings going off, but we don't really care.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Now you can't stop it. It's coming or it's not.
That'll be all right. Never does.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I bounced right back into things, and I probably put 12 miles on foot. Didn't find another antler.
Nah, we walked that farm in Illinois a couple times. We found some there, but not as thick as I thought we'd find.
But we did find some hammers though. One of them
found
was
some
real
good
big.
ones.
Look at that.
Where's it? I don't want to keep digging them out of there.
I'm with Anthony at my place. I think I pushed all the deer working food plots during that time.
Like I think it was literally the week after season ended. We went out and burnt up a bunch of stuff. And actually, while we were burning, we found sheds from last year, just like some rinky-dink 8s and stuff. And then, yeah, after that, it was.
How much did you burn?
I think I mapped it out on Google, and I think it was right around like 13 acres in a weekend. So
in a weekend,
yeah, and there were 3 guys, and the wind was perfect, and so what we did was we burned along the road at night. So that way we could pretty much just burn everything with an east wind right up to it, and it worked out perfect. So yeah,
right on.
My dad was actually just out there spraying everything that we sprayed, and he found a buck right down from our fence line. I guess somebody had shot it.
Oh yeah, he was
chopped the antlers right off of it. You can see the saw marks and everything.
Dude, that'll make anybody mad.
Yeah,
that pissed me
off. He found
off.
Another shed though that was all chewed up from last year.
He got on some mushrooms too.
Yeah, a couple mushrooms.
I don't even know how he finds some things in the dark.
I think the only new sheds that we found, I'm not kidding, it was a spike. It was like this big. The guy that was helping us burn, he found it.
I've never found a spike antler before.
Oh, that's not true. I found a shed last Friday when I was out there.
Did you?
Yeah, I was trying to roost some turkeys and get some footage of them.
Oh,
and yeah.
Oh yeah. Find any? I mean, other than my Illinois farm.
I pushed around at my house a little bit, but I think I pushed a lot of the deer out food plotting and dropping trees out there right at the end of season up until recently. But I was back there checking my clover that I planted for turkey season coming up, and it's all popping good. But I jumped about 20 or 30 deer out of the other side of the finger, and it was me and the kid. So I'm like, I got my little girl with me, loud as hell.
Right.
We got within like 30 yards of these deer, and I didn't even notice because it's all timber. And they all just exploded in every direction, and they were all over that food plot. So might have to put up some fence around that clover, or they're gonna mow it to the ground.
Oh yeah, that's something new I'm doing this year. Is I'm putting hot fence around.
See, I'd never heard of that or anything really to do with a hot fence until you guys mentioned it this year. Which I got to researching it, and I was like, oh, all right.
They beat the food
plot. Mow them down before it gets to maturity.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for half of the plants in that plot. Need to hit maturity for them to fully process, and then the deer, like certain plants, the deer won't fuck with unless it's mature. It's sour, or whatever the taste is off, and then it matures and they eat it. Well, if it doesn't mature and they're beating stuff down, you got squirrels and they're beating everything down.
Well, a lot of these food plot blends mature at different times.
Yeah. So you gotta protect it. And like I saw the other day, 20 or 30. That's not a very big plot. We're talking 3/4 of an acre in the middle of this timber patch.
Oh yeah.
And there was an easy 20 or 30 deer in there.
Really?
So I'm like, shit. If they come in every day from here to deer season, my plots and throughout the year, it's just gonna get burnt.
Right.
So,
you ever thought about doing like a antler cage or an antler trap?
Yeah, we've done that at the farm and stuff. We did it postseason with this was years and years ago. But we basically made the cages, and you do like a little shelf that overhangs with just like chicken wire or something. And no, it didn't work. Like we put corn and stuff in them. Like maybe we got one, but it was no. We did it on
In
like
theory,
three or four
in
different
theory,
trees.
sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, there's that spot that we're gonna turkey hunt. So hopefully, well, if it goes successful in the turkey hunt video, you'll see. But where they come through that little, there's 1 and 2 inch trees in the middle of that little bitty field,
Right.
and they tear that up. That spot might be handy where you could wrap some chicken wire around those trees because they
Yeah.
come through there and hit the shit out of this little.
Do you guys have like a designated spot that you're like every single year you're like, I'm gonna find a good shed here?
Yep. I always check them first.
Yeah. See, that's ours did not produce this year because again, like we just whether it was us burning, running around spraying, it was, people had like their girls' spring weekends out there when all the hunting season was over.
I
They went
don't
out
think any of
and
that bothers
and
me.
rode around and stuff,
You're just
but
so used to it.
I think it depends though. If you're in an area that's really quiet, it might spook them for the moment.
Yeah.
Not like if the scent's around, I don't think that bothers them as much if it lingers and you're not there. But I think in the moment, it definitely freaks them out for like the day, a few hours.
I think deer just have this sixth sense where they know they're being hunted.
yeah.
Like out of season, like fresh out of season. Like you see one off the side of the road, you can damn near walk up to it.
Well, and it's like I think obviously through the seasons they get educated, and I think it's the absolute same thing with turkeys because like this last weekend I was out there and just like on the road they'd be strutting and stuff after hens,
Mhm.
and then it gets like a week into the season they're not as vocal. You don't really see them
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
They just get so much smarter.
The
So much.
spots you saw them every day for a month, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm
Exactly.
getting me that big time.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you go there for a week straight and he ain't there.
It switches up. It
But,
switches up big time. Like
They did a study, I think it was in Pennsylvania. They collared a bunch of deer, and it was like 250 deer or something,
Right.
and monitor them throughout the year.
Yeah.
Just to see their patterns, their trails, and it was kind of cool to
Did
see
you
that.
listen to this on a podcast? Because I think I might have listened to something.
It was on a YouTube channel, and I can't remember who put it out there, but you see the trails and everything. And the crazy thing is most of the deer did it, but the mature bucks, like a day before season would hit, would change their pattern. And through season, they would have a different pattern than all the rest of the year, but it would be like right before deer season started, right after it ended.
Even like with the early deer seasons, like September.
Yeah. Yeah, they had this study, and they're like, yeah, it's a noticeable change when it's before we go into the woods. Maybe it's they catch on for the scouting, but before they're hunted, few days, a week, whatever it is,
Interesting.
they change. It's
Huh.
like they know, but I mean, I guess evolution of hunting, they're kind of used to it.
Yeah.
But the animals kind of knowing is definitely a thing.
Yep.
Dude, that's wild.
I mean,
Dude, they're smart. I mean, that's why it's a big deal to kill a big buck. It's so much harder
Yep.
to figure them out and get on them.
Yeah, I love the comments where people are like, "Oh, you think you're tough? You go out there and just shoot defenseless deer." I'm like, "Listen, that deer is 10 times smarter than your smart ass on the comment section." I'm like, yeah, it is cool, and you go out there and spend 2 years on some deer, 3 years. You watch them, and then you decide to hunt them, and you get skunked for a year or two,
Right.
and then you finally get on them. Like, yes, it's a rewarding process.
Yeah.
I'm not out there fighting bears. I'll give you that,
Mhm.
but it's rewarding for sure.
Dude, I mean, I love shed season just because when you're out there looking for the deer antlers, that's when you're killing them for next year.
Yep.
Because I'm not just looking for deer antlers. I'm looking for other shit like
Right.
trails where they're bedding.
Like
where
we
they're
saw
going
those
to
bedding
clear
areas.
transition areas.
Yeah, we saw all those bedding areas in the snow when we were shed hunting on your place. That one ridge, it was like 20 beds on that one spot.
I was out again this past weekend and just kind of walking around, whether it be looking for mushroom sheds or finding turkeys, just figuring them out. And I found a bunch of beds and stuff, and just I don't know. Every year I always kind of think about that. Like, you guys have that one spot where you're like, man, I wish I had to stay in there all season, but you don't want to get back in there and push deer out, so you never do it.
Yeah, you sit on either side of it.
Right. And I sit there and think, I'm like, all right, well, I need to get in here and probably do this, but
Like earlier in my
kind of get a game plan for the next season.
bow hunting, I would never crash into those spots.
Yeah.
Now it's way different. I am so much more aggressive than I used to be.
Mhm.
Like I killed 2 of my deer this year by being aggressive.
Is that the teamed up with your camera work? Look at with the camera work,
Like
knowing them.
Yeah.
You can't just go in there willy nilly and be aggressive, or you
Mhm.
get your ass kicked.
Oh, for sure.
But like through your camera work and your studying, you're allowed to be aggressive.
What do you guys think about deer seeing your cameras and like knowing.
Oh, they know what they are.
Yeah,
for sure.
and it's
They
funny
can hear them. They
because
can see them.
right, and I've had, you see big bucks on a camera. To me, it happened this year like once or twice in the same spot, and then like they might be there, but they're like walking around it or something. And then I had does and smaller bucks. They'd still walk in front of it, but they'd stop and just look right at it.
I was hunting a giant 8-pointer 2 years ago, and I have a video of this deer on a full sprint.
Wasn't the one you shot with me this year? Huh?
No, it wasn't that one. No, it wasn't that one. But this deer was on a full sprint and stops dead in his tracks and looks right at the camera.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's like he obviously knows it's there. And I think when it's on video mode, it makes a sound and they can hear it. Like there's a shutter in it going off. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I know they can see that infrared.
And it's got that sixth sense about. I mean, look, one little sidetrack story about animals in the sixth sense. One time we was walking out of the deer woods. It's dark, and I heard the noise. We didn't have flashlights on. It's not spook anything. Go out in the dark, and right next to me, I heard this noise. It's an armadillo. When I turned the light on, and then, Nick was with me. He gets the call, and there's the property owner making sure we were good because it was dark. Yeah, it's okay. We just seen this armadillo. She's like, I hate those things. Get rid of it. I'm like, okay. Well, this thing sat 5 feet from me. Didn't bat an eye. And it's like he heard that phone call. And when she said get rid of it, I was like, okay. I mean, it's nuisance around here. They tear yards up, and it's a terrible little critter. And as soon as he heard that, he took off running, but he was a little too close, and I hit him. And he flew like 15 feet. And then I cut him in half with a 270. But it was like he spoke English, man. He was watching, hey, what's up, guys? And then she said, I'll get rid of him. Oh, we're not friends. He took off running at 100 miles an hour. So the animals know.
I was checking cameras one night on one of those like Quiet Cat bikes or something. It is the funniest video. It was on one of those bog cameras. I love those little things. Oh, yeah. For like putting them out quick. Video. Yeah. And so on the camera, you see me like turn around on the Quiet Cat, come up to the camera, check it out, put the car back in and everything, and I'm pulling away. So I'd come back and check this video. But I hear something to my right, and it was just like a little ruffle in the leaves, and it's dark. I can't see anything. I got like one of the green spotlight things. And all of a sudden I hear it come like right by my feet, full speed. And I like kind of screamed like a little girl. It caught me off guard, and I just ripped down this path on this bike. Oh my god! So I checked the camera video, and it was an armadillo running right past my back tire.
Oh, those damn critters! Have you ever mistaken armadillo like scratching in the leaves for turkey scratching?
Oh yeah,
dude, they're so loud when they come through the woods.
They sound like
that's what I mean. Exactly. Yeah, it was so loud, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is not."
Yeah, they are loud when they come through the woods. Because I've had them come in when I'm in the deer stand, and I'm standing up. I got my shit ready, and then I look over, and it's an armadillo. I thought it's a grizzly.
The worst is right when it's getting dark, and you like can kind of see a little bit, and you like know exactly where the sound's coming from. You're like, where is
or they're getting light.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, there's a big one right on me. We're gonna get him, and then the light comes up, and it's an armadillo, and then all you got squirrels after that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you notice, like when they're barreling through the leaves, they're just making a little path behind them, but they're still disturbing the hell out of the ground.
Yeah.
But when turkeys do it, it's a broad.
Oh yeah, broad range. You can really
but you can confuse the two pretty well. You been seeing any more scratching at your house?
Yeah, dude, I need to put my cameras out, but here's the deal. For years, I've never gotten pictures of turkeys there. I have scratching prints. I have people that hunt out there and send me videos of turkeys from my stands that I've hunted. No, I've never seen them. But I have more turkey signs than I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. Or like than anywhere at my house. So like they're out and about. We'll see this turkey season if I can find one. But it's like they know that I'll get them if they come.
How long have you been at your place now?
I've been hunting that farm for 6 years now, I think.
Have you found any decent sheds on that place?
Smaller ones. My deer get up to like maybe that 140 range.
That's how I am.
They kind of peak, I feel like. That's why we're doing a little different thing with the plot and adding in protein blocks throughout the year and trying to get them bulked up a little bit. So
I found one on your place. That's when you almost killed me.
Yeah, you were in the back of the side. Dove out of the back of the side?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't dive out. You almost
No,
ejected me.
that was different. We were driving through the woods and we're coming through the spot, and Phil's just like, "Wait!" And I was like, "What?" And Phil jumped out of the back, and then he grabbed the shed. And so then we're trucking back around, and there's a creek bottom. You got to kind of gator it through up to the other side. I forgot Phil was back there when I hit it, and he probably caught like 2 feet of air in the back.
I'm not kidding. I was hurting for 3 solid weeks. My back. I pancaked over the tailgate.
We had like the kids piled in this thing. I had a kid on my lap. We're driving, so I was only paying attention to like the cab. And forgot Phil was back there.
Yeah, it was
Paid the piper.
sure did.
That's like you were saying about the 140s and stuff. Like I usually find your typical like 8-point sheds, nothing crazy. And then just these last 3 years to this year was actually the first year I didn't find them. So first year is a 12-pointer, had him at 75 yards, and I'll throw pictures of them up. But had him at 75 yards, couldn't get him any closer. The next year he was an 11-pointer, and I don't know. I never saw him that year. My dad saw him gun season after he had dropped that one huge 9-pointer, and then he walked out right behind him.
Huh. It's funny how that works.
Right.
Every time.
And then this year we saw him on camera one day, and then he was gone.
Wow.
So we had his sheds for 2 years. I think he got up to like 150, but he was just a big body.
Do you ever have those deer that are just consistent every single year that do the exact thing?
That's how he was. He lived in the same spot every year, would hit the same cameras every year. But yeah, I don't know what happened this year. I died off early season. I think it was like late October we saw him, and then he was gone.
Interesting. Well, I mean, what do you like with the S farm? Have you ever had an experience with like logging on a property and what it does to the deer?
Not like serious logging. Like we will go through our woods in certain areas where it's just not like regenerating very well, and we'll drop out like any of your bigger cedars on the edges and stuff and pull them out. Or sometimes we pull them into the woods because, like you were talking about, how putting a fence up on your food plots. Same deal with dropping those cedars down. It'll protect the little browse and shit that are growing up around it from the deer nibbling them down. And
let them mature up a little.
Yeah, exactly, and let them get established. So we do that just to get some more sunlight, but no serious logging. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean these guys. I mean they're pretty clean, but all the tops of the trees and everything are chopped and on the ground.
Yeah,
it looks like a mess. Dude.
Yeah, but you'll get some good regeneration in there. It'll grow up real thick.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the short term is about it.
You should see if you could run a fire through there and burn up all that leaf thatch and get more sunlight in there. Yeah, grow up like wildfire.
True. Never thought about it. I mean, it's a lease. I don't know if I want to burn on his property. But, I know my heart broke when I pulled up to that farm because that's the farm I find all the big shit.
That was so when I asked you guys about like the spot, like your spot,
that was there.
Yeah, so that's mine was that buck I had for 2 years. His sheds I always found next to each other. That's kind of where he bedded. And this year I was like, man, I was like jumping fences and stuff, trying to find him.
Right. Have you worked the dog anymore?
At the house a little bit. Like I said, I think I pushed all my deer out, but I haven't taken her out and worked her a ton. I've been transition phase, getting ready for turkey season. We've been dabbling with some bow fishing at the house. Yeah, we got the carp are overpopulated.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun.
That and getting ready for turkey season. So I didn't push the dog that much this year on sheds, much as I should have, but we're busy and working on, which I'll have video of, building like fish habitats to bring back the lake. Yeah. We got an issue of like.
You got PVC habitats, or are you doing?
We're doing natural habitats using like hardwoods and cedars.
Yeah, sweet.
How do you sink your cedars?
Stick them in.
It depends. We got we got different like concrete, or I'll drill a hole in like a rock and then sink it down with a thing, a rope, and then that some of it'll stand up in the deep water, and then some of it I lay down in the shallows, and you'll put that stuff right outside of bedding areas for your bait fish, so they can hide off of their beds whenever predators come up in. So different little tips on how to like bring a pond or small area back. We got, like I said, we got a 5 and a 15-acre lake. So managing those is a little tricky sometimes. We got carp overpopulated. So they sucked out all the vegetation. So the bait fish, when you're going through at night, it's sad. The bait fish are just sitting out there in the open. I'm like, man, you guys are bogeys for those catfish coming up in here.
We never had carp, but we spent quite a bit of time. I think we have like a 5-acre lake or something. And we spent quite a bit of time getting a lot of the catfish out. And then we started keeping those like 12-inch bass and crappie and laying them up.
Because they'll get stunted if you make it overpopulated.
And,
That's
dude, I mean, it took, 2 years, which was fun. You're catching fish and having fish fries and stuff. And we were still catching decent fish. But after like 2 years of it, we started catching like 5s and 6s. It was a blast.
We got a handful of them. That's the same place we're at. But it's from like the carp eat the vegetation, and then the minnows and the bait fish have nowhere to hide. So they're just getting picked off left and right. But then you get those 12-inch bass that at that size and age is when they're eating like some of the most.
Yeah,
like a teenage kid, they're just trucking through food. So if the bait fish have no chance and nowhere to hide, them little guys are come in and clean house.
Right.
And so you got to call them out, like you was saying. You take some out. We have the river close to us, which it always use more and stuff. And then some other neighbors that are cool with us dumping in their ponds because they need stuff. So we help out a few other locals, and then that river right by the house, we put some in there. But managing it is a process for sure.
Oh yeah,
kind of fun.
Yeah, it is a good time.
Yeah, we gonna cover anything else?
I think we covered our. I
think we're gonna keep this one short and simple because we got turkey season coming up.
I want to add one thing on the end of this shed episode. We also talked about morels a little bit. I want to try the fungi glasses. All right.
Still on that, huh?
I don't know.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah, I know. I just want to.
Well, hey, like
I want to talk to somebody and be like,
"Is there anybody out there?
They work right?
Yeah, is there anybody out there that use these things and have good results?
Exactly.
Like, is it worth to buy? Has anybody got any tips? Leave a comment. You got
because they work for mushrooms and sheds.
Yeah. So
they give off the same like color temperature.
If anybody's used them and you have had good luck or bad luck with them,
I got some morels in my fridge right now, soaking in a bowl of salt water.
Damn, I got a few. I can't wait to get out there. I haven't even been out yet looking for them.
So fun.
I got a couple chicken in the wood spots I'm gonna check. It's been nice and humid.
Exactly. Yeah. I think once we get a week of warm weather again, I think all of them be up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we just fired off the socials. So
I was just getting ready to say that before we closed out.
Instagram, Facebook, it is the
Midwest
Fixation, THE the. And I'm trying to dibble in TikTok right now, but
that's the same with me. I'm on the Facebook and Instagram, they're kind of tied together, and we're slowly trickling out some posts, but once we get into turkey season here, I think we'll have some more content and some better stuff for you. So
I'm not really a fan of TikTok just yet because those community guidelines, dude. There's only very limited things we can show on there
with the hunting.
Yeah, with hunting. It might just be like behind the scenes kind of
Facebook and Instagram. You can just find anything.
Oh, you can, anything you want to see on that platform, you can see it.
Yeah,
they have no rules whatsoever.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, next week, turkey season. We got youth firing off. So
I think that's my favorite time of the year, but we'll get into that in a different one.
Yeah, we're gonna start off on the video series.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Turkey season's a blast.
Oh, I'm excited for turkey season this year. We've kind of been doing a little bit of work for it, so we're ready for it this year.
Been getting ready. Oh yeah.
I'm excited. We've been seeing a lot of birds, and word around the street is here in the Midwest is we had a really good turkey hatch this year, and I'm seeing the result of that. I'm seeing a lot of birds out.
I've been seeing a lot of hens and a lot of jakes and stuff, and gobblers are already strutting. A little bit of gobbling in the early mornings.
You've been getting a lot of B-roll of them.
Yeah, I need to get a little bit bigger lens, but yeah,
I want that 600.
Yeah,
God, it just looks so good.
Anyway,
yep, we're closing this one out. See you next week, and
check us out for the pre-turkey season 2024 podcast.
Yeah. See you.